It's so stupid, it's positively brilliant.
The Brilliant Idiots Podcast.
Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Andrew Schultz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots, and this week's episode of Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by Talkspace. We could all use a little help sometimes, but it's easy to feel like therapy is outside of our reach. But for a fraction of the price of traditional therapy, Talkspace can provide you with an experienced and licensed therapist who you relate to and feel comfortable with. For a special offer on Talkspace, just for our listeners, visit Talkspace.com/idiots. Talkspace, therapy for how we live today. And we're doing Sunday.
No, this Saturday.
It's Saturday?
Yeah, Brilliant Idiots Live.
I thought it was Sunday.
It's Saturday, baby.
The 30th?
September 30th. Yeah. Brilliant Idiots Live.
Hold on now, I'm bugging. It is a Saturday.
September 30th.
Sunday's the 1st.
Exactly.
Wow.
Brilliant Idiots Live,
Okay.
Highline Ballroom, sold out.
Sold out.
Man. We released 20 more tickets, dumb shit sold out.
Brilliant Idiots, baby.
We out here.
So make sure you go to brilliantidiotsmerch.com, hire you clothing, get a rush order on those t-shirts and those hoodies so you can be dressed appropriately.
Exactly.
On Saturday, the 30th.
Exactly. That'd be so dope.
Show is sold out. We're only telling you that the brag. Little humble brag, that's all. Nothing, a little Highline Ballroom, you know what I'm saying? No single out, you know what I'm saying? No album or nothing, just two motherfuckers talking, running their mouths, okay? But it's sold out, so we'll see you on Saturday, and we're in Milwaukee when?
Then we're going to be on Milwaukee Podcast Festival, October 28th.
Okay.
October 28th, so that's going to be dope. So if you're in the Milwaukee area, if you're in Chicago, drive up, come fuck with us, get some tickets. I think you can get tickets at MilwaukeePodFest.com or something like that. Just look that up. And that'll be cool, man.
Yes, so much to get to, man.
Bro, there's a lot.
3 Kardashians are pregnant.
Crazy.
Khloe.
Who's the third one?
Kylie. Kanye. You ain't see Kanye pictures?
Oh, yeah, he's looking voluptuous.
Listen, Khloe's 3 months.
Right.
Kylie's allegedly 4 months.
I think Kanye's in the third trimester, dog.
Yeah, he's the only one showing.
Ready.
By the way, that's just another Brilliant Idiot prediction. And on the Breakfast Club, I told y'all that Kylie had to be pregnant.
Wait, why'd you say that?
Because she just got too low. Like when you see a family like that's that high profile, and then for like 2 or 3 months you don't see like one of them that is like the most high profile. Yeah. I'm like, oh, she's pregnant.
Bro, you gotta understand, this is a contract year for the Kardashians. Okay? They gotta put up some serious numbers. Contract with E is up. They need a negotiation. They need some leverage. Put some buns in the oven, bro. Kris Jenner's not playing around. She's coming correct.
Is Kardashian's contract ever up with E?
It must be if she's getting both of them pregnant. Listen, Khloe was barren. Let's keep it real, right?
Yeah.
Lamar couldn't shoot it up. I think other people might not have been able to shoot it up either.
Yeah.
All of a sudden...
Or maybe God just, works in mysterious ways.
They've been praying to God for 10 seasons on the Kardashians.
Come on. Can you imagine if Khloe would have had a baby with Lamar? Come on, man.
Maybe, Bible.
Come on, man. I mean, Lamar got cleaned up now, but for a moment, she'd have had her little crackhead son, a little crackhead daughter.
Well, maybe God should help Lamar.
He did. He did. God did help Lamar. He got him away from the Kardashians, got him to get his life together. Now, Khloe went and got her a new tandem in the front court.
That's
you know what I'm saying? A new partner to bang out with and grab rebounds with Tristan Thompson. And now they one of the best front courts in the league. Now, what we need to be doing is talking about one Mr. Travis Scott.
Let's do it.
I personally think, I don't know Travis personally. Okay. I saw Travis this weekend at the iHeart Music Festival. He did something that I didn't really appreciate. Like I saw, I don't know if you know $2 Steve.
I do know
Steve
$2
Steve. Around passing out the $2 bills. Great guy, great spirit. Love seeing Steve.
Explain $2 Steve real quick.
Steve is I think he's an attorney, but he's a guy.
White man in a suit goes to rap shows.
He comes to every hip hop show and he gives out $2 bills to everybody.
He looks like security. I thought he's on
somebody's
FBI
manager
shit.
or something. Yeah. So he'll give you $2 bills. He gives everybody affiliated with hip hop. Or he see your friends with you, he'll give him $2 bills. So I seen him go up to Travis and try to give him $2 bills, and Travis was like on some like nah, like fuck, like not just on some like get the fuck away from me type shit. And I was like, yeah, that's pretty disrespectful. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think? Why do you think that was? Did he know who $2 Steve was?
I honestly have no idea.
Did he think it was just some random guy that was like, oh, you're from Houston, maybe you need this? This is Harvey relief.
I mean, he is from Houston. Travis Scott is, but if somebody walks up to you and just offers you money, I don't never seen you tell them you don't give somebody like that your ass to kiss. You know what I'm saying? And man, who gives a fuck if it's only $4 and $2 bills? I don't give a shit. You don't just tell somebody fuck you. You know, you little spoiled brat that you won't take their money. But the reason I want to commend Travis is because if Kylie Jenner is indeed pregnant, this must say a lot about Travis Scott as a man. That's why I can't judge him for what I saw him do with Steve. Maybe he was having a bad day or something. Because Travis must be a great guy. For Kylie Jenner to be on that level of stature she is and to have the tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars I think she does.
Yep.
And not have an abortion? From Travis Scott? Travis must be a great guy, bro.
Travis has something special.
He gotta be.
Travis had Riri. These ladies like Travis.
Something is about. I'm saying
there's something about Travis.
We gotta commend Travis. There's something about Travis. I mean, I know people aren't really paying it attention. Like he's easy to dismiss. Like I hear a lot of women say, "Oh, he looks dirty," and why would some woman want to be with him? That guy, it's the curious case of Travis Scott. He's got some type of je ne sais quoi.
He's got a je ne sais quoi that
Come on,
girls
man.
are into. We might not get it.
Come on.
But if you're in front of him,
you never know.
You never know. I mean, think about it, because what I always saw Travis was, to be honest, was like a little bit, I don't want to say knockoff version of ASAP, but like he always had this ASAP thing, right? Like they had the same braids and shit. And I was like, okay, here's this guy trying to do the ASAP thing, trying to take the ASAP lane. And then all of a sudden these hits kept coming out over and over again. I'm like, is this guy bigger than ASAP? And ASAP started falling into the fashion world and not putting out as much music. And then out of nowhere, Travis Scott gets Kylie pregnant. Out of nowhere. And it's like, that's the ultimate hit maker right there when you think about it.
Yeah, man.
You go get Kylie pregnant. I thought that was going to be ASAP's career trajectory. I thought ASAP becomes this superstar, knocks up a Kardashian, and that's what it is.
ASAP popping, though.
What song is out?
What's the last song ASAP put out?
He's not popping musically. He's in the fashion world.
No, he just put out an album that went gold. I just can't remember the name of the music.
He put out a collab album with the rest of the ASAP mob, right? All of ASAP mob came out.
ASAP put a solo album out. ASAP got a nice career. I can't front on ASAP.
He's got a great career.
ASAP dating Kendall.
But he got...
Allegedly.
No. Blake Griffin's dating Kendall.
Now?
Yeah, I don't know why I know this. I don't care about pop culture, guys. I'm into politics and other things. But anyway, point being, you have a situation where Travis, you have a situation where ASAP should be the one that's dating Kylie.
At long last.
He's not dating Kylie. He goes into the fashion world. He starts wearing dresses, that kind of shit. I guess the Jenner family said, listen, there's only one dude that's going to dress like a lady in this family. And then Kylie goes after Travis Scott. Simple solution.
I don't know. But all I know is a round of applause for Travis Scott. All right, if Kylie's really pregnant and didn't have an abortion, it says a lot about him as a man.
Yep.
Period. All right?
Well, I mean, how can she have an abortion?
What you mean, how?
How do you get that out there? Listen, nobody's going to keep that under wraps.
Who cares if they keep it under wraps?
Son, they can't say Bible every third fucking word on the Kardashian show and then be getting scoops in episode 10.
You think Kardashians have never had scoops?
Honestly? No.
Maybe it's an Armenian thing. Maybe Armenians aren't allowed to have abortions.
Okay, Armenian.
Yeah. Hey, any of our Armenian brilliant idiots listeners.
Shout out to you, the Panamanians and Armenians making
hit us up and let us know. Is it like a Armenian thing? Like
they're religious, bro.
They are, right?
Yeah, but that's their thing. They always say Bible or something on the show. Yeah, it's not like I watch it or anything.
Well, salute to Travis Scott and Kylie if they are really expecting. Salute to Tristan and Chloe. It'd be a damn shame if that baby don't have no height. If that baby don't come out long,
tall, heavy in the case.
If that baby don't come out long, something is wrong.
So here's my question. When you have a baby with a woman who's had tons of plastic surgery, is there fear that the baby isn't going to look like how that woman presents herself now?
Well, here's the thing.
That's why I don't believe in plastic surgery, because it's like, I need to look at you and know what my baby's going to look like. I can't have you coming out the baby coming out. She's got a fucking beak instead of a nose. And then you tell me later that you had a nose job when you were 18. You used to have a beak.
Yeah, but those are the conversations you have to have with your kids in the future. Because the truth of the matter is, especially if you
have it with your wife before you had the kids.
Well, if you got a little girl, girls are going to be more concerned about that than guys are. So girls are going to grow up and be like, well, damn, why don't I have an ass like my mom, a tits like my mom, a nose like my mom? So then you got to keep it real with it. Like, I bought this, baby.
Your mom don't have an ass like your mom.
I bought this. And then your child is looking at you like, well, I know what I want for my 18th birthday.
And then how do you not get it for? That's another thing. Like, how do you tell your kids that plastic surgery is wrong when your mom's full of plastic surgery?
Hey, man.
How do you tell your kid to love herself?
Yeah, man.
That she's beautiful no matter what, that personality is the most important thing, when her mom got makeup all over, fake hair, fake eyelashes, fake everything.
You can still do that. You just need just tell them it's enhancement. Like, you can still love yourself. You can still say, hey, I love myself, but I just wanted to enhance myself. By the way, the ultimate act of loving yourself is correcting what you think is wrong. That's
how you, first of all, stop that.
It is.
By saying something is wrong, you're not loving it.
No, that's not true.
So you're going to tell your daughter to get plastic surgery?
Put it like this. If you're walking around, right, and say you start to get a little chubby. Yeah. You still love yourself. You just know, like, yo, this ain't what you want for yourself.
No, you don't.
So you go to lose your weight.
You love food, and then you decide to start loving thyself.
But you cut the food out, and then you go work out, and you lose weight.
But it's not like you were loving...
You get a haircut because you love your appearance.
Sure, but your tits don't grow like your hair. It's not like you love small tits and then all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I'm going to love big tits now, and then your titties grow.
That's not true. Like, you can look at your little tits and be like, I like what I got, but I mean, I can get better. It's like driving a car. If you got a car that's a cool car, it might be running good.
Right.
Don't need any repairs, get you from point A to point B, but you be like, you know what? I do want a Bentley. If you can afford it, you go get it.
Right.
That don't mean you didn't love that Honda. You just
that's exactly what it means.
No, it doesn't.
It means you love and value something more.
Mm-hmm. No, this means you want to do better. I feel
why would you want to do better?
Because you feel like you can. Like, I feel like that's the ultimate.
Why is something better?
Something is better usually based off. Something is better just usually based off how you feel in that moment.
So, like, you feel in that moment that big tits are better than small tits.
Better might not be.
Therefore, you can't love small tits as much as big tits. Therefore, you can't love yourself.
Better might not be the right word. The right word may be not better. I don't want to say better. Just like you feel like you can do more.
Or you feel like you just don't want to have a real job, so you get fake tits, and that makes it easier.
Not true. I mean, I know a lot of women right now who have small tits who will be like, they want to get bigger breasts just because it fit, the bras fit better, or it looks better in shirts. Like, it's by the way, it's always a vain reason. Yeah. Like, nobody's getting bigger tits for health reasons. You're not going to get breast implants. Every reason to get that stuff is vain.
When I was in Burning Man, I saw a woman with no nipples, bro.
Why?
She had 2 vasectomies, mastectomy, whatever that is, when you have breast cancer, and they cut off your titties. They got to lop off your titties to stop the cancer from spreading. And she got 2 fake breasts that replaced it, and she was walking around topless.
That's a health reason.
It was a health reason. You got to do it.
Health reason.
You got to do it.
Yeah, that's a health reason.
Awesome. Yeah. But she got the titties, and I don't know if she couldn't afford the nipples or something like that. But it was just I don't know what it was. Like, she just sometimes you get a car, you can't afford the automatic windows. You got to have the roll downs.
Yeah.
So she had 2 titties. She looked like a Barbie doll, dog. It was titty. No nipple, just round.
Those ain't even titties. Those melons, bro. You gotta have a nipple to have a titty.
She had melons, bro. Yeah, 2 cantaloupes.
Yeah, I gotta be able to flick your nipple in order to say it's a titty.
No,
that's where the word titty derived from. When I flick it, it makes that sound. I'm serious. Flick a nipple. I'm telling you, flick a nipple and you'll hear it. Flick it. You gotta have that. In order to have a titty, you gotta have a nipple. Those are melons.
Well, shit, she had some melons.
Jesus Christ.
Dude, and I couldn't not look, bro.
For Chloe and Tristan's sake, I hope they have a boy. Because that'll be a tall motherfucker. I mean, that's an easy pass to the NBA if I've never seen one, goddammit.
And if they have a girl.
I mean, she can go to the WNBA, but that'd be a waste of time. Like, salute to all of my women in the WNBA.
Yeah, shout out to you.
Doing what you love.
Doing what you love.
Doing what you love.
Eating pussy.
By the way, we don't give WNBA women enough credit. They are truly doing what they love. Yeah. Because they don't get paid money at all. It's like $50,000, if that. Yeah. So they're truly doing it for the love.
Yeah, I know. They're like teachers.
They're like teachers. Yeah. Absolutely. In fact, I probably would want to be a teacher more so than I would want to be in the WNBA.
Hey, you want to know something funny, Charlamagne? You know what's happening right now?
What?
WNBA Finals.
Had no idea. I had no fucking clue. I did not know. I didn't know they was even in season. Really?
Yep.
Why?
Yeah. Why? I don't know.
Who's in it?
I don't understand. I don't fucking know either. I have no clue what's going on. I know more people that are in teachers' classes than are at WNBA Finals games.
And please don't be offended that Andrew said, that the WNBA players are doing what they love, and that's eating pussy. Yeah. Because it's not a stereotype if it's true.
Yeah.
All right.
And also, what's wrong with eating pussy?
Exactly. I got homegirls who are in the WNBA, and yes, that is where you go if you want to get your pussy.
Let me tell you something. If I want to learn something, if I want to learn how to eat pussy, you think I'm going to a guy?
Yes. By the way, this is what y'all should do if you're in the WNBA. If you play power forward or center, get with you an NBA player. Let him teach you some proper post-up moves, and you teach that guy how to eat pussy properly. That's it.
That being said, if you make it in the NBA, you don't have to eat pussy anymore. Okay? Let's keep it very real. Like, ain't nobody making $40 million a year and getting fucking scoliosis in their neck because they're eating pussy, right? Like, you don't have to do that. That being said, if you care about your woman, you love her, and you want to please her.
Yes.
And be a great man.
You go to a WNBA player and let her show you how to properly eat pussy.
Because they're dealing with some meaty pussies in the WNBA, right?
A lot of labia.
It's a lot of labia, dog. It's a knife. It's a labia. Like,
a lot of labia, bro.
There's some clits that dangle in the WNBA.
Did you take some of that roast beef off that sandwich? I didn't ask for extra roast beef, sir. Jesus Christ.
Can I have half meat? yeah, not double meat. Let me get half meat. So let's keep it real. If they know how to deal with that, it's like pilots that fly in Alaska.
Yeah.
Like, those pilots know how to fly in the craziest circumstances. So these WNBA chicks that are going down on WNBA pussy. Right?
Whoa.
Bro.
Whoa.
Come on, dog.
Whoa.
Come on.
That's a lot of bush to get through, bro. I'm telling you, peeling back layers upon layers upon layers upon layers. Is that the clit? No, it's not there yet. Pulling back more and more and more. Is that the clit? No, more and more. Oh, my God, man.
What is that sword that they got in the jungles? What is that shit? A machete.
Fuck the jungle. The sword they got in the deli. You talking about What's the dude they call Salt Bay? That motherfucker. Yeah.
He finally gets to the pussy. Pop that elbow out.
Pop that elbow out. Pour some salt on the leftover labia and get to working, baby. Now, today's episode of Brilliant Idiots is also brought to you by MeUndies.
Yeah.
Perfect underwear is a balance of looking good and feeling comfortable. But where can you find perfect underwear? Right at MeUndies, okay? MeUndies is made from sustainably sourced, naturally soft fabric that's 3 times softer than cotton. MeUndies will be the most comfortable pair of underwear you'll own. Their diamond seam pouch cradles your jewels and gives your stuff the support it needs without feeling too tight.
That's right, man. You just got to go to MeUndies.com/idiots to get 20% off, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. It's a no-brainer. What the hell are you waiting for? This is what I rocked when I was out there at Burning Man. I took my MeUndies. Yeah, man, because I knew I need something that was going to sustain. See, a lot of times for me, the problem with underwear is, like, if I wear it, because what I'll do is, I don't care if you call me nasty, I'll wear underwear to sleep, maybe even go out that night to sleep, and then wear it through the next morning. I don't change my underwear in the morning. I don't change my underwear until I shower, right? So what often happens is it starts to stretch out. Like, the stretchiness goes away, and then I went from wearing briefs to basically fucking boxers. I have no, like, undercarriage support, nothing. MeUndies held me down when I was out there, because I only showered once when I was out the whole time. So I definitely fuck with it. Yeah, bro, I'm a savage. Well,
just go to MeUndies.com/idiots to get 20% off, free shipping, and 100% satisfaction guaranteed. It's a no-brainer. What are you waiting for?
Make sure it happens.
Yes, that's MeUndies.com/idiots, IDIOTS. Go to MeUndies.com/idiots right now.
Can I promo something real quick? Of course. So we got this new podcast out, Flagrant 2. It's Akash Singh, Kaz, and myself, sports podcast. So excited. Yesterday we dropped the second episode. We finally got it up on iTunes. Went to #1 sports podcast on iTunes.
There you go.
Today's Wednesday. Still at #1 right now. It was like 24th overall. So we are so fucking excited. Thank you guys.
That's big being that, like, ESPN got so many podcasts.
Bro, ESPN's got podcasts. They got The First Take. And the ones who really kill are the Barstool kids. These Barstool kids got the internet on lock. Barstool Sports, right? And we beat their shit. They got the top podcast, so we got in front of them. And we're still up there, so people go listen, go subscribe, go rank, go share. Thank you all the brilliant idiots that were over there. I know there was tons of brilliant idiots listening to that shit. So keep on doing that. It's Flagrant 2, no easy buckets. You can get it on iTunes, and we're gonna do an episode every single Tuesday. It's Flagrant Tuesdays. The latest episode is titled "Knee Grow Please," like KNEE-grow GROW please. please. And yeah, it's dope. We're talking about the protests and all that kind of shit, and how awful the Knicks are going to be this year. But yeah, please go check it out, man. I would love that. And also keep on checking out 441. Thank you guys so much for watching
Where's it at
that.
now? Has it hit the 100 yet?
No, it hasn't hit the 100 yet. But for my subscriber count is doing incredibly well. You know what I mean? Like, I think they say, like, the average video that we have 128,000 subscribers on our channel. And I think they say the average video on a channel will do 10%, or that's like a great amount. So we're already at half that, right? So it's like, I'm blown away, but I want to hit 100, and then we're going to go for 500, and then we're going to go for $1 million. So if you guys could please like that, share that, that'd be so fucking cool, man. So
yeah, that whole take a knee stuff, it was very interesting this weekend. It was
well, how'd you feel about it?
It depends. It depends. Like, I got to be specific. Like, what part exactly?
Okay. Why don't we start with your Cowboys?
Cowboys. I thought the Cowboys protest was whack. The reason
Let them set it up for the people who didn't know what they did.
If you didn't see what the Dallas Cowboys did, the Dallas Cowboys locked arms, and then they kneeled before the national anthem,
right? And
then they stood during the national anthem. The reason I thought that was whack is because you can't appease both sides. I don't know when everybody in the world, if you've learned one thing from me, if you learn one thing from the Brilliant Idiots, stop trying to please everybody, bro. Right. It's not going to happen. I don't know the keys to success, but I know the absolute key to failure is trying to please every fucking body. Like, have some goddamn balls.
Yeah.
Like, that defeats the whole, especially in this case, that defeats the whole point of a protest.
Right.
A protest is not about making the people that you're protesting against feel comfortable.
Right.
It's about making them feel uncomfortable.
Right.
It's about disruption. It's about bringing attention to the actual issue. And, that's another thing that I feel has become a problem. I don't even think motherfuckers know what the actual issue is anymore. In fact, I know they don't. I listened to Sarah Huckabee Sanders, saying that, if this is about police brutality, then they should be boycotting or protesting against the police that protect them on the field. Right. I heard Donald Trump say this is not about race. We've even had callers call up to the Breakfast Club and say, I don't understand why they're disrespecting the flag. And then I'd be like, do you even know why Colin kneeled in the first place? And they'd be like, well, no.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I've been all week, I've been playing back the soundbite of Colin Kaepernick saying why he decided to kneel in the first place.
That's really important.
To bring awareness to the injustices that African Americans are facing at the hands of law enforcement in America.
And it's important to add on to that the reason he's decided to kneel specifically was because he spoke to a service member and asked them what was the most respectful way to them to protest.
And Colin said,
service member said to Colin, I think kneeling would be a sign of respect to the flag, but also a sign of, I guess, discontent with the current situation.
Yes.
So I think...
And Colin said, until the flag represents what it's supposed to represent for everyone,
right.
he was going to kneel.
Right. And I think, I think that Trump has done a much better job of framing this issue for his benefit than
absolutely
than the players have.
Yeah, well no, Trump changed the narrative for those. First of all, it's two things. Donald Trump's mainstream. Colin Kaepernick, it's not. That's just the truth of the matter. When Colin Kaepernick started this whole situation, he was the underground artist. Right. So it got some buzz, it got some attention, but not like, boom, Donald Trump's the fucking president of the United States of America. So if he tells his constituents these guys are being disrespectful, they're kneeling, they're being anti-patriotic, making it about him, which is not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, maybe in some cases it is, but it didn't start about Donald Trump. It started about police brutality. And so when he did that and he told them to kneel, Donald Trump is like, look, this is not why they're kneeling, because they're just being disrespectful.
Right.
So his base runs with that.
And what he did is he flipped it in a way where he's on the side of the flag.
Yes.
And if you're against him, you're against the flag.
But I'd say this.
Just out of context, right? So if you're against him, you're against the flag. Now, people care more about America than they do about sports. And
no, they don't.
They do.
You think so?
They do, and you can see it by...
But what is more American than sports?
Let me tell you why. Ready? You know whose jersey was the #1 selling jersey in the NFL this last week?
Who?
That guy Villanueva, an offensive lineman on the Steelers, the one guy on the Steelers, did 3 tours of duty in Iraq, who stood up and, the Steelers as a team protested in the locker room. They didn't go outside for the anthem, but he did. And he sat in the tunnel. He stood in the tunnel, and then he put his hand on his heart. And
so what do you say about the time? Because Colin had the number one jersey in the league.
Just real quick, right? So the number one selling jersey in the league was an offensive lineman. So all these pro-Trump, allegedly racist people have a Mexican's name on their back.
Yeah.
Villanueva.
Yeah.
Because that's how much they love. They're like, build a wall, but not for Villanueva. Let Villanueva come in because he held it down.
So what about Colin when he had the number one jersey in the league?
What's good, yo? So when Colin had, I think what people are doing is reacting off of like extremes, right? So like Colin represented one extreme, and then everybody that supported Colin went after it, and they were 100% behind it. And I think Villanueva represented the other extreme. It's like they're waiting for a dissenting voice.
And what you said is absolutely true. And here's the thing: they're both Americans.
Right.
So the people who supported Colin are Americans. The people who supported Villanueva are Americans. The problem is when these institutions pick sides. Right. You can't pick sides. Stay the fuck out of it.
Well, yeah, I think what the side of kneeling has to do, and I think it's up to us to support this as well, is reframe the narrative, right? Because Trump has done an amazing job of branding this in his favor, and the people kneeling kind of took the bait, right? Because you had 4 weeks to kneel, and I was talking about this on Flagrant too. It's like a lot of these NFL guys, you had 4 weeks to kneel, right? We had preseason, we had a couple games. I didn't see any fucking kneeling. All of a sudden, Trump tweets one thing, and now it's like, I really care. So are you anti-Trump or are you pro-Black Lives? Because your behavior would dictate that you're anti-Trump.
Well, I agree with that, and here's the angle that kind of bothered me. When you see Kobe, when you see LeBron, when you see all of these guys finally start being vocal about Trump, after Trump says something about Steph Curry, that's kind of suspect to me. Not suspect, but it's just like...
Bron's just jealous.
It's not even that Bron's jealous. It's not even suspect. I'm just talking about when it comes to the things to be outraged about when it comes to Donald Trump. That's very low on the list.
We don't care. We don't care till his home.
And I know, and LeBron said that in his video. LeBron goes, it finally hit home to me. And I'm like, whether you see it or not, that's a multi-millionaire elitist individual who does not see the issues of the common man. And I'm not going to hold LeBron's feet to the fire simply because LeBron does do a lot for the community. But to not acknowledge that in that moment, that was a different level of elitism because you said it finally hit home.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
Yeah.
What else? What about all this other shit that's been going on that Trump has been doing? That didn't hit home for you?
Because it didn't affect him.
It didn't affect them.
He got a gate.
The DACA, the Muslim ban,
Bruh, this is what people say about the liberal elite or the limousine liberals. This is what they say. It's like there are all these Hollywood celebrities, right? And this is a common soundbite. There's all these Hollywood celebrities saying that don't build a wall. That wall is disrespectful, and they live in gated communities. The fuck you got a gated community for? To keep people out, right?
Yeah.
So there is an inherent hypocrisy that's going on with the liberal elite, and the right has framed it in a way where they basically take away their ability to have points because of their own hypocrisy. We need to do a better job.
I think it's hypocrisy on both sides.
Listen, dude, I can go on and on about right-wing hypocrisy as well.
Because I think it's hypocritical to not even acknowledge why these guys aren't kneeling in the first place. Like to just dismiss the race thing, just to be like, no, it's not about race. Oh, well, if it is about police brutality, then they should protest the police. No, how about acknowledge the issue that they're kneeling for? Why are you being so dismissive? That within itself is hypocritical because conservatives don't want their ideas, their ideals and their issues to be dismissed and the things they care about to be dismissed. So don't be so easy to dismiss the other side.
First of all, why is standing so important?
Listen, I grew up Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
Ask me how many times I pledged allegiance to the flag in my life.
I don't know.
0.
Yeah.
All right? 0. Never. We don't pledge allegiance to the flag.
I do it. I'm not going to lie. I do it absolutely, and I still will do it. But my issue is, for me, standing or sitting doesn't really affect me, right? If you're acknowledging that flag in a way to bring attention to an issue that is important to not only you, but to America, right? Yeah. It's like, what the fuck you care? If you care about equality and somebody's asking for equality, if equality is an American value, right? And someone is asking for equality, as an American, you got to support that. So whether they stand up and put their hand up like this, or they put their fists in the air for Black Power, they kneel down, whatever, I'm cool with that. If you're going to do what's the guy on the Bills did? The running back for the Bills. What's the Bills?
LaShawn McCoy. He was
LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, LaShawn McCoy talking about, hey, Colin Kaepernick, the only reason he's opened his mouth is because he sucks and nobody cares about him. And now, on this last one, he
was stretching.
He's fucking stretching out his hamstrings doing calisthenics.
Hey, you know why? You ain't never been called an Uncle Tom and a coon repeatedly online. That should have changed your mind. All right. LaShawn McCoy was like, fuck that.
But that to me was disrespectful.
No, I just think it's pussy. Like, don't be neutral. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a coward. Either you going okay, well check this out. You either gonna do one or two things. Yeah. Either you gonna kneel and protest and offend this side, or you're gonna stick to your guns, not kneel and protest and offend another side. Guess what? It's nothing wrong with that. At least you doing you. I'd rather you really do you instead of try to fucking appease everybody. That's what that stretching shit is. You're stretching. But you're not kneeling, so you're not offending nobody.
I'll show you how I'm not a coon. Look at this stretch. No, you weren't
stretching. Like the shit Ray Lewis did. That shit was lame.
That was an ISIS prayer he was doing.
By the way, I called that. That was another one. I called it. I got on the Breakfast Club Monday. I was like, Ray Lewis gonna say he was praying.
Yep.
Because it's so pussy, right? It's so pussy because Ray Lewis doesn't want to offend the white people that are cutting his checks. Because by the way, 27,000 people in Baltimore have already called for his statue to be taken down because he kneeled. So when I saw Ray Lewis come out there arm in arm with his guys and he kneeled on both knees, I said, he trying to pee on my head and tell me it's raining. I could tell right then and there he was trying to play both sides. I'm like, he's trying.
Did he really say that?
Well, TK Kirkland is there.
TK wants to introduce him. But did he say he was going to be praying?
He said it yesterday that he was praying, and I said it. Yeah. I said when Ray Lewis got on his knees on both knees, I pay attention.
That's some bitch shit.
Bitch shit. He got on both knees, and he locked arms with his people. He wanted two things to happen. He thought that black people were going to be like, oh, Ray's finally out of the sunken place. He came out there and kneeled. Instead, they called him what he was, a fucking hypocrite.
Right.
You came out there kneeling after you was talking all this shit about Colin saying you would never fucking kneel. You don't agree with the protest.
Yep.
And Ray thought, well, if the white people attack me, then I'll just say I was praying. Whoever comes first.
Right. So he had an answer for both sides.
He got hit by both sides.
I have a curious question. We heard a lot in the last few weeks. We heard a lot of people saying, hey, don't tell me how to protest, right? So there was a lot of people that had criticized this take a knee protests, right? And the response to the criticism was, you can't tell somebody how to protest. It's wrong to tell them, right? Mm-hmm. But it seems like we're doing the same thing now, right? Somebody is taking two knees and we're telling them that's not good enough of a protest.
But they're not protesting.
Locking arms and they're saying that's not good enough of a protest.
But they're not even calling that a protest. They're calling it unification. They're calling it a show of solidarity. They're not even calling it a protest.
So if they framed it as a protest, but they went down two knees and they framed it as a protest and they locked arms, you'd be okay. It's the framing.
All they're trying to do is appease both sides, Schultz. Like that's all it is.
Okay,
that's all they're trying to do.
So if it's a protest, you support it regardless how it is. If it's an appeasement, it's some cornball.
Because all they're trying to do is show, like, okay, we hear everybody out there complaining. Yo, NFL players, y'all got to do something on Sunday. All right, we're going to do something. We're going to lock arms.
You're trying to be a boyfriend, right? Like when your girl's upset, even if she's irrational, you just look. Yeah, no, babe, I totally understand. Yeah, no, let's go down on both knees.
That's it.
Yeah, of course,
that's it.
Gotcha.
It's bullshit. Yeah. Like you either going to, especially if you know, we got TK Kirkland here, especially if you know Donald Trump hates the kneeling. If what you're trying to do is piss off Trump, then fucking kneel.
Yeah, but kneeling is what he wants because that's meat for his base.
So what? Kneeling is what started the whole thing, and that's my whole point. It doesn't matter what his base thinks. You are trying to bring attention and awareness to a cause. Be disruptive. That's what protests are about.
But are they? That's my question, because if you really cared about bringing attention to the cause, you would have done it the last 4 weeks.
Well, Colin did. It now.
Colin's been doing it since last year. And there's been other athletes who have been doing it last year as well.
And Michael Bennett did. Michael Bennett, absolutely.
There's been a bunch of them. And don't get me wrong. And I credit everyone, even the people that did it this week with the right intentions. Mm-hmm. All I'm saying is my concern is we have to make sure that we don't get caught in an ego battle, which is, Trump's going to tweet that? I'm going to show Trump. No, show America that you care about what black people are going through.
Listen, I'm going to tell y'all this. I told y'all this already. Trump's thoughts about the NFL, Trump's thoughts about the NBA is very low on my list of things to be outraged
about Trump.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really, to be honest with you, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
First of all, Steph already said he wasn't going to the White House. Who gives a fuck what Trump thinks? Trump's delusional as shit.
Yeah.
That's like seeing a girl in the street and then, you know, you try to holler at her and she disses you and then you be like, bitch, you look ugly anyway. Why the fuck was you trying to holler at me? I don't care about that shit.
It's like when a girl breaks up with you didn't even know you were dating.
Yeah.
You ever have that? Like, I can't see you anymore. Be like, we were seeing each other?
Fucking.
I got head.
And then you got to remind her, by the way, we was just fucking. All right? Like, we wasn't seeing each other.
All right, hold up. Let's play some bills real quick. I want to talk about Talkspace because I think this is something that's just very important for people to understand. And it's something that you see a lot of attention going on right now, or at least been given to, which is the idea of therapy and mental health and the importance of mental health. I mean, we see how many people have been killing themselves, harming themselves, cutting themselves, and it's just because of lack of mental health knowledge in general. And I think one of the ways you can definitely get mental health knowledge is through talking to a therapist. And a lot of people don't have the time, and they don't have the money, to be honest, to talk to a traditional therapist, to sit down, spend $200, $220 a session. I mean, that's what my therapist costs, $220. I speak to him for 45 minutes. So Talkspace is an incredible option for you if you're at least just want to get something off of your chest, right? If you have something in your mind that you've been basically, harboring and closing off from the entire world about, I think it's a great place to just share it in a lack of judgment, a completely judgment-free environment, if you will. So I think that you should check out Talkspace. Okay, you can text, you can do audio, video message, you can do all these things to your therapist as much as you want. And Talkspace therapists are incredibly experienced. These aren't newbies, okay? I was looking at one of the ladies that I was talking to on Talkspace has been doing it 20 years, okay? They're licensed, background checked, and they go through a rigorous screening process in addition to thousands of hours of supervised professional training. There are over 500,000 users who have experienced the relief of being able to talk to a therapist at their own discretion on their own. All right. So to match with your perfect therapist, go to Talkspace.com/idiots. And to enjoy a special offer just for our listeners, use the coupon idiots to get $30 off your first month and to show your support for our podcast. Okay. That's IDIOTS and Talkspace.com/idiots. Okay. Talkspace, therapy for how we live today. I implore you, if you're going through anything, just give it a shot. Let me know how it worked for you. Let me know, honestly. Send me DM, whatever you want, but honestly, let me know how it worked for you, and I really do hope it helps. All right, now let's get back to the show.
TK, what's happening, brother?
How you doing, fam? I just want to sit back and let you guys keep that momentum going, but it's a crazy situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially with what I just heard about Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
But you got to remember what's the main focus. Trump is playing everybody in the world. And like the word that you're saying is delusional. When I say he playing, I sit back, I listen to you guys talk, I listen to the people on the news talk, I listen to people in the street talk. He got everybody fucked up.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you forget what the real purpose is.
Right.
See, the purpose is that the man is almost going on a year since he's been in office, and no one's gotten him impeached yet about the Russian election, right? The Russian interference.
The hacking.
Right. And the reason why I bring this up, I'm driving the other day on the highway, and I haven't dealt with police in a long time. And by us being street people, we know when cops are profiling. Mm-hmm. I'm driving in my car, I'm driving on the street, and the cop on the sideway on the road got his high beams on. It's 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I already know what he's doing. He's profiling. He's seeing who's black in the car. So cars is going past me, and I saw him. I saw him before he saw me. I said, he's going to pull me over, because I felt like I was the only black person 1:30 in the morning. Soon enough, he pulled me over.
Damn.
Roll down. I had all windows down. I want them to see that nothing is caught. But I'm scared because anything can happen.
Absolutely.
Anything can happen.
People don't understand that anxiety that black people feel.
Yes, anything can happen. So I said, sir, so you profiled me. Fucked them up. He said, excuse me? I said, I saw the lights on the highway. You had your high beams on. You watched every car that drove past you, and you pulled me over. He said, did you know how fast you're supposed to be going on 17? I said, no. He said he was doing 62 and a 55. I said, I'm not going to give you a ticket. I just wanted to pull you over. You pulled me over because you was profiling. Yep. You was hoping that I was going to be fucked up with a warrant somewhere, and you was going to take me in. So he started talking, making conversation. Supervisor comes because he was fucked up that I explained to him about profiling. My point is this. don't let all this confusion take you off what's really popping. What's really popping is, regardless of unity, regardless of kneeling,
right,
we have to pass a law. See, because when you see these pictures of Martin Luther King back in the day kneeling, nothing's changed. We've been kneeling for a long motherfucking time to the point we need knee pads now. Do you understand?
By the way, I hate that picture y'all keep passing around of Martin Luther King Jr. Y'all know good and well that Martin Luther King Jr. was not kneeling; he was praying.
Exactly.
Y'all know, like, why are we doing? Like, don't do that.
But you know what I mean, though, right? So nothing has changed until we pass a law, and until more Afro-American people go to jury duty. This is how we change the game. Yeah, we don't go to jury duty.
We got to be involved in the criminal justice system.
We got to be.
We need to be more.
We
need to pass a law to make cops accountable for what they do.
Well, no, that's the thing. There are laws. They're just not being upheld.
Uphold them.
That's the problem. That's why Colin is kneeling. Colin is kneeling because he says it's injustice going on with law enforcement and in the criminal justice system.
And I went to this earlier this year. I was doing a petition. I was dealing with some senators in New Jersey and the head of NAACP, and they said the same thing. They said it's impossible because the police is the police.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I never, we keep having this conversation about equality. Of course, we all want equality. Everybody wants to be equal. But this is the truth to the matter, and everybody needs to understand this.
Yep.
You will never be equal in the eyes of a racist. Women, you will never be equal in the eyes of a misogynistic person.
Yes.
Gay people, you will never be equal in the sides of a homophobe.
Right.
Like, you just won't be. So what do you do in that situation? In that situation, for me, we just have to empower each other. We have to build up our communities. That's why I bank black. That's why I want to open up more black businesses.
Yes.
I want to start our own little black ecosystems, because the truth to the matter is, that's a pipe dream to me. I want equality.
It's a dream.
I'm marching for equality. You'll never get that in the eyes of racists.
But here's the thing: you can have all. I'm sorry, you can have all that, as long as you have respect.
Right.
See, because we're never going to get along.
As long as you have legislation.
Exactly.
If you have laws that keep everything equal and they're upheld,
exactly.
Great.
Twofold.
There you go.
Twofold, right? So there's two things going on here. One, first is justice, right?
Yes.
You need justice in order for a semblance of equality and treatment.
Yes, because it don't matter if you're racist or not, as long as those laws are getting upheld.
And also, the action of racism slows down with the increase of justice. Once a cop thinks, oh shit, I could go to jail if I frisk this guy, there is repercussions for actions.
Is there a law? Is there a law for that?
There are laws of that, but we have to enforce the laws. So enforcement is one. But then two, another thing that's very important to remember is it is possible to thrive in incredibly racist and hateful circumstances, and you have to look no further than the Jews to realize this.
Absolutely.
The Jews have existed in areas around the world where they have been hated for their entire existence, when you think about it. They've never been in a place besides Israel, which is, 50 years old, where they were welcomed and accepted and loved, right? Yet they have maybe arguably more influence, at least in like media and business, than any other tiny sect of people.
But you know why? That's
what you're talking about with creating your own ecosystems and creating these businesses and banking black, etc. That kind of influence is incredibly tangible if there's unity.
Financial freedom is our only hope. Because when you empower yourself economically, they just got to respect you in a different way.
They respect the dollar. Like everybody's going to respect the dollar.
Yes, sir.
Okay? And nobody's not going to take it. I mean, if you even look at, like, there are countries that might despise the existence of Jews in Israel. They still gonna buy weapons from them?
It's people in America who despise the existence of Jewish people. I bet you they tuck that little hate in.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's what I mean by respect.
Fucking business.
There are people in America that despise black people, but they're gonna watch football every Sunday.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's so true.
So if you bring the bread and if you bring the product, people are gonna buy it. As simple as that.
As simple as that. But it comes down to respect, everybody, because what you're saying, what everybody's saying, it's been talked for years. And it's never going to change. But if we can respect each other more, and then the chiefs of these police held these cops for killing these, because when you know as a white person gets shot, they never kill them. They shoot them in the leg, or they fight them and tussle them down.
That's not true.
There's been white people who've been killed by cops.
Not as many as blacks, though. Without no damn gun.
To be honest with you, I don't even know the number. I just know that the narrative of white cops killing black people is always in our face, because we always see the videos.
Yes.
Either white people ain't got no cameras, there's not a lot of white cameras in the white community.
It's just not a sexy story, right? It doesn't tug on our heartstrings, and it doesn't attach itself to its
That's true, because they
fears.
do control the media.
Absolutely.
And they tell you what they put out what they want you to see. So that's probably true. But I still don't think it's the same.
Well, they wouldn't want you to see black people getting killed by cops, right? They, meaning if they is the racist white people, they wouldn't want to promote that narrative. They would want to promote a narrative of no, black people, you're making this up. It's not bad. But social media, we're able to capture these images, and then people are able to share and show, what's really going on. And but there are a lot of times these stories where you have mirror images of things that might happen to white people, and they don't get the same play. And I'm not saying that necessarily they should or they shouldn't. What I'm saying is the fact that they don't lends itself to this narrative that like middle America white people are starting to feel, which is, hey, we're the oppressed ones. Nobody's worried about our problems. There was this weekend, and I have to get more information about it, but there was a guy who walked into a predominantly white church, a Sudanese refugee, walked in and shot and killed somebody, injured 6 more people, and he was eventually stopped by a legal gun-carrying member of the church. Now, this is the worst story that the liberal media could ever put out, because you have refugee who's black, goes into predominantly white church, shoots people, and is stopped by a gun carrier with a legal permit.
I saw that.
They don't want any of that.
I saw that on a headline somewhere, but I was wondering why that story didn't get more heat.
Think about it. We don't want people to have guns. Right?
Shit.
We don't want, but I'm saying we don't want people to think about, I don't want people to think guns are okay, that this guy's a hero. No, don't put that story out.
Fuck that.
You want to know what happened the day before that? The day before that, they just removed Sudan from the banned list of countries, that Muslim ban, they just removed it. The next day, Sudanese refugee shoots up a white church. Don't put that out there.
Well, that's not, but that's...
Don't let people know about that.
But you would have to be a fool to think that removing the ban is what caused that. Because that guy, he was here already.
Dog, you don't think fools are out here?
Like, that guy was here already.
You don't think fools?
Yeah,
he was here already.
All I'm saying, I'm not saying that
but by
it's
the way,
logical.
that narrative, no.
Fools
That narrative could get you. That narrative could definitely get you. Because you'll read that ban from Sudan was lifted yesterday.
Right.
Sudanese guy goes to the church, kills him on
That's
the
all
next
you
day.
need, though.
Exactly.
Nobody thinks. Nobody has no logic.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
and
he couldn't have got here that fast.
That would actually hurt. Exactly. He goes, he got here, got a gun.
The common sense of the American people is at the all-time
because of this shit.
Well, dog, it's
the smartphone making us dumb.
And we believe
common sense is on a low.
There's no common sense ain't common.
It's
I always say, but it's like we believe what we want. It's like I've talked to people a lot of times about what we're capable of believing, even in religion, which I think is very important to people's lives. And even as someone who didn't grow up with religion, I find it very important, even in my own. But like, if we're able to believe that a dude walked on water and turned water into wine and all these things, like I think I could believe that a guy got here from Sudan and shot it, you know what I mean?
Man,
we're capable of believing irrational things.
Yeah. No, because we want to believe it.
Right.
Because
my girl ain't cheating on me.
I can go into work the next day and be like, see what I'm saying? They removed the Sudanese ban as soon as they did it. Somebody from Sudan killed somebody.
Right.
You're like, common sense tell you, that motherfucker been here, bro.
Exactly. In common sense, or like wanting to believe will make you go, see, these Muslims are doing it. Common sense will make you go, wait a minute, was he already attending the church? Oh, wait, he was a Christian. You see what I'm saying? Like, you'll blind yourself to the fact that this guy was already.
We could talk about this shit forever. It is no ending to it. And there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. It's just infinitive to the end. Because what's the solution?
The solution is this to me. The solution is everybody needs to boss the fuck up on their own. You know what I'm saying? Like I told y'all, I'm sitting back thinking about what everybody's saying they want. And I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, we've been saying we want equality for years, but it's impossible to be equal in the eyes of somebody who's just determined to hate you, right? So my thing is, all you should really want is legislation to be upheld. Because the laws are in place. These constitutional laws are in place to protect us. There's laws in place to protect us. We just want them shit upheld. How do you get them shit upheld? Especially if a judge is racist. Or if a police officer is racist. Or a prosecutor.
Like
so they're not even looking at you as an equal anyway.
Let me tell you something, guys.
So what you said is real, TK.
Yes, sir.
We need more of us. In these positions.
We got to start going to jury duty.
But the jury thing you said, which is huge, because we see it really on both sides.
Why is it jury duty, though? Why jury duty?
Because we get the chance to make the decision on. See, most jurors just see black and white. They don't think outside the box. They don't think about that one little situation. But from our experiences, learning different things on the street, we know that, oh, hold up, this could have really went another way.
Gotcha.
But because we're not in there,
So perfect example.
people who have never had
You
those
think
experiences say
Emmett Till-
guilty.
You think Emmett Till is going to get a guilty verdict if they got 9 black people on
Get
the
the
jury?
fuck out of here.
OJ got off,
Bro,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about. And listen, that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
Exactly.
That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Yeah, okay, they're not gonna get arrested. They don't get trial. Like none of that shit.
Now, we're not suggesting that black people go out and just let every black person off.
Now,
on
no
the crime.
disrespect. When I was in the streets,
Yeah.
I used to really tell people go jury duty.
So you
as
can-
long as it wasn't murder or rape, let the motherfucker go.
I'm not
I
mad
don't
at
give a fuck how you do it. When you go in there, you say not guilty to let that motherfucker
I'm with
get
that.
off. I'm for
with that.
real.
I'm
Fuck
with that.
It's too much.
But I like
I'm
seeing.
not with that.
I want to see more
I'm
black.
not with
I want to see more black minority judges.
Yes.
More black minority attorneys.
Yes, and
more black
prosecutors.
and definitely more black minority police officers. We've been saying this shit from the beginning.
And that's what we need.
Yes, you wouldn't have these problems in the hood if you had
That's what
brothers
we
from
need.
the hood
Exactly.
who were patrolling the neighborhood.
That's so
Because guess
true.
what? We know what a real threat is. Same way you
Exactly.
say you could tell when a cop profiling you.
Yep.
I could be driving through the neighborhood and be like, oh, that's just little Jamal. He ain't doing shit. He out here fucking
And I saw
around.
that yesterday.
But at the same
the
time-
Spanish people knew each other. I'm get my hair cut. The barber pulled up. They all, but the Spanish and shit know all the cops and all that kind of stuff. And you absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
You could also say that if you got somebody from the hood to be a cop, everybody's getting arrested. Because you
Depending
can fool,
on who he is.
You can fool these suburban dudes. You know what I mean? You can fool these.
but he
you're
might
not
give
gonna
you,
fool
but
someone
he might
from the
give
hood.
you a shot. Like if I was a cop,
Yeah.
and I knew I'll pull you to the side and give you a shot. Like yo, I don't want to see that out here.
Yeah.
It's my job now. If I come back again, if I see I warned you. Now if I come back, I gotta arrest you.
Yeah, and
That's the way you do it.
And you get a brother from the hood. Listen, first of all, I ain't trying to do all this paperwork for no goddamn speeding
Damn
ticket.
right.
I ain't trying to do all this paperwork for a motherfucker
Damn
caught with a
right.
little bit of weed.
That's so true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
what kind of
so
great
true.
a boy that is? Look, give me a little snippet of that, man.
And I'm
Get
not
the fuck
taking
out of
nobody
here.
in for no $100 warrant. I was like, yo, go get that fixed. Yo.
By the way, white cops do that shit all the time too.
And that's what I'm saying. Because they arrested me one time for a warrant from 1992, 20-something years ago.
Yeah.
And arrested me. And took me to jail. And I had to stay in that motherfucker till the weekend because I had just changed my bank accounts.
Yeah.
And I didn't know my passcodes to my online banking.
Yeah.
So I had to stay there the Monday
Yeah.
for a fucking $100 warrant.
Why, guys? Stop breaking the law on Friday. We know what could happen.
That's so
You're
true.
there in bookings
You're there for
through
that.
Monday.
So
like,
true. You're
just
right.
don't
That's a
sell
fact.
drugs on Friday.
That's so true.
Yeah,
What's
but
wrong with
that's
you?
the money day.
You funny.
Yeah, in the
fucking
hood,
right.
like at least where I'm from in South Carolina,
is the
Friday
money
the
day.
money day. 'Cause
That's
The
why-
first to
Hey,
15th
man.
to Friday.
Yeah.
Listen, you got to listen to the Jews, man. That's why they don't fuck with electricity on Fridays, bro. You get arrested, you going to jail
And
the
it's
whole
really,
weekend.
it's really good to stay. If you know you in crime, it's really good to stay off the street on Friday night anyway. Come get me on Monday. I got a shot. But Friday should be I'm staying in the house day.
You're going to be locked for 3 days.
You'll be locked for 3 days.
I just thought about this too. If you a cop and you pull somebody over for like a speeding ticket or a little bit of weed, like some bullshit shit,
They'll take
that
you
you
in.
can let them know. But a lot of them won't. I'm gonna tell you why. The ones who ain't getting no pussy, the ones who ain't got no lives outside of the
No
uniform,
relationship, not
no
going to go on a
relationship,
date.
they the ones who got time for all that
They
paperwork.
sure do.
Shit. All right,
Because I
be
said that to the cop.
I be getting pulled over by cops sometimes. Like I told you, a cop took my brass knuckles and said, "Oh, these are nice." You know what I'm saying? He right up. He took them. He was like, "Oh, these are nice. I'm gonna keep these." And then he went over to his boys and he was like, "Maybe we can catch somebody." Like, you know what I'm saying? And then they
Ain't
took
that crazy?
They took Wax's knife and they was like, "What you got this for?" And Wax was like, "Wax said, yo, look how big I am. I can't carry a gun.
Yeah,
so if somebody tried me, I got to at least have a knife." And the cop goes, "Yeah, you're right. Here, take this. That's some cheap shit anyway. Get you something better, man." Like the cops didn't. They was like, they didn't want to take us in to do no fucking paperwork for a fucking busted tail light.
What you said makes sense because this man took me for $100, Charlamagne. And I'm looking
Bet
at
you
the
he look
clock.
square as fuck.
Yeah, I'm looking at the clock like I'm gonna be out of here in about motherfucking 10 minutes. That he took his time because he milked the clock.
Yeah.
See, when they took you in, see the cops are slick too. Not all of them, fuck it. They slick. So he took me in at 10. He did the paperwork all the way to like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Get that overtime.
To get the overtime.
He's
Yeah.
right. He's
I knew
right.
what he
He's
was
right.
doing.
Yeah.
So I just stayed calm like Kung Fu. You go in there, cross your legs and meditate and shit.
Yeah.
Especially when you know you're getting out. It's when you're not getting out, your ass stressed.
Right.
I wonder if that quota shit is real.
It is.
It's real.
It is?
If you notice, they'll start clipping you for people for tickets
Yes.
a lot more towards the end of the month when they got to hit
Now,
the
what's
quota.
the state it was a city that sued the state that the state wasn't giving them enough criminals, so they sued them. Because it's a business.
Yeah.
So they wasn't getting enough prisoners. So the city sued the state because of they wasn't bringing enough criminals in to put into prison.
Lord have mercy.
Here's an interesting question that you brought up, especially with like the rape and murder. Like, what crimes do we not need to punish? With jail and bookings. Like,
at this point, marijuana possession.
No, and we stopped at New York. But I'm saying further than that, like, think about when you get a speeding ticket, right? When you are speeding, you could potentially murder people. Like, it's a dangerous crime, but we give you a ticket and we say, hey, don't do that. Right. But if you get caught with a little bag of coke, you go to jail for that. Now, I'm not saying drugs are okay. All I'm saying is you are way more likely to hurt and kill somebody speeding than cocaine.
And I learned my lesson years ago. I got a letter in the mail that said that I was getting a lot of tickets. Mm-hmm. And it said that, and it was, I'm being honest, and it taught me a lesson because it said either slow down or you're going to cause bodily harm or you're going to die.
Yeah.
Because I was getting that many tickets. I think I got like 7 in 1 year, and I was like, oh shit, when you start getting that in the mail, it's serious. So I start slowing down.
But that comes with maturity though, because a lot of kids think a cop just being a fun killer. No, you stupid motherfucker. Like, you could actually kill somebody on the goddamn road. Or yourself, you dumb motherfucker.
Right.
More importantly.
So then what is it? Maybe we have to restructure. I mean, this is a big task, but maybe we got to restructure punishment really in terms of how many lives could you affect. If you're smoking, I don't care how much weed you're smoking, you ain't killing nobody.
I don't know about that.
Really?
Depend on the person, right?
Yeah, I don't think you should be driving and smoking, bro.
No, not driving and smoking. I'm saying they hit you at a party. Even if you got a brick of weed.
See, it's rules to smoking too. And I've been trying. Weed is for a nigga and his bitch in the hotel room.
Right.
Not 4 motherfuckers in the car passing the blunt. Weed is an aphrodisiac to fuck. You have some champagne, you smoking, you fuck. That's why most men turn gay. That's weed. That smoke weed because they start hallucinating by passing the saliva around to one another. And all of a sudden, motherfuckers start looking at each other about your skin.
Ain't never happened to me smoking weed.
Your hair. And all of a sudden, these 2 motherfuckers is kissing. It's for you and your girl, dog.
I don't know what weed.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I want to say something real quick because I keep hearing this. If you smoke weed and then you and your homeboy have sex, you've been gay. You just ain't had the courage to do it.
Real talk.
That weed just gave you the courage to do it.
Yes, sir.
That shit don't.
It gave you an excuse.
It gave you the courage. Like, the weed ain't got nothing to do with it. Like, you been gay.
You've been gay.
That just was the right time, the right opportunity, and the right grade.
And man,
that's it.
That's
the right strain of that shit.
Yeah, but you and a female. And I smoke probably once every 3 years. My son come to my house, and I respect what he does. I'm gonna hide the weed. I just got nice little places to put weed. I just want to know. I'm like Walgreens. I'm like Walmart. I got everything. If the alarm system goes off on the battery, I know I can go right downstairs, put the battery back for the alarm detector.
Gotcha.
I got the weed. So my son says, Dad, you can't keep weed this long. I be thinking I can keep weed for years. And he'll take the weed and put money in it. So one day I come from out of town and the weed was gone. I just was looking in for a cigar. But it was a lot of money in there. What the fuck, a lot of money? Where's my weed? So I called my son. He said, oh yeah, Dad, I was smoking and I wanted to pay you. I said, son, it ain't about the money. You just can't be going in my shit whenever you want to. That means you've been snooping through my house. I said, just because you my son don't give you the right. I said, but you took me to your house and you left. I'm not gonna go through your shit because this is my son. I'm entitled to go through your shit. Oh, it was hilarious. But the weed thing, I really think it should be male, female, champagne. Boom, that's it.
You can smoke weed with your dudes. But
I don't care how much weed I ain't kissing no guy.
That's what I'm saying. I don't give a fuck. I don't care if it's weed. I don't care if it's drinks. I don't care if it's Molly. If you and a guy get into it after y'all get high, both of y'all been gay and just didn't know it.
Exactly.
Y'all knew it and just finally got the courage to do it.
And you know what I was thinking not too long ago? And I don't mind. If a man is gay, go ahead, be gay. That means you want to be out the league. I love a fat ass, a beautiful woman. And if you want to get out of the league and leave more for us to enjoy, then we're going to give you your paperwork and move on. You're out the league. Okay, you're out.
There's only so many contracts.
It's only so many contracts. We gotta let you go.
You can't be mad when a person decides to retire.
You can't be mad. Do your thing. You can't come back.
It is an odd thing to do. Be like, yo, you gonna be gay?
Yeah, if you're gay, you can't come back.
Get back here, take some pussy from me.
Right.
That's the weirdest thing. If you really love pussy, you just let people.
Yeah, let them go, man. Because I, especially in New York City, at the red light and girls walking across the street.
But by the way, that's how you know people are actually born gay. Because I'm one of those people who believe people are born gay.
Right.
Okay.
The reason I say you know that is because some people are born gay. They fight their urges.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? They fight their natural desires, and they do what society tells them to do, which is be with a woman.
Right.
They're with the woman and they're miserable. They're disgusted by it. They don't like it. They don't want it.
Yeah.
So then they be like, nah, I'm gonna truly be me. I'm gonna come out the closet, be who I want to be, and now they're happy.
Right.
So you know a person is truly born that way is if they've tried this thing that we say is so amazing, pussy, but then they decide to be with
Now, I'm going to tell you what I do have a problem with. I'm doing a show the other night, beautiful girls in Philadelphia. Oh, my God. And they were gay. All right? They were gay. But they had children already. Okay. You know, one girl had 3 kids, the other girl had 3 kids, but now they dating each other. I said, bitch, who raised y'all? Because I'm like, do you know your children going to be fucked up? My thing is, once you get past a certain age and you have children already, and you gay, I think you keep that a secret.
But what if you can't tell your kids, you know, be who you want to be yourself.
See, I believe in the old school.
You can't tell them that and then like be in the closet.
I know, but and the world has changed. But I'm in old school. Like I tell my daughters, any of y'all ever think about being fucking gay, you better wait till I'm dead. I better not see this shit. And that's just me. And like I said, the society now makes you feel guilty if you voice your opinion on how you feel. Like, oh, you better like this album. Oh, you better like gay people. And that's wrong. Like, just like we have to accept that if you're gay or you don't like this song, you have to accept my beliefs and how I feel as well. But long as I respect you. And it all comes down.
Well, I think they'll say that you don't respect them.
That's exactly what they're saying.
You're not respecting them.
Yeah, my youngest brother, he's deceased now. He was gay. And I had to respect him. You know, I'm not going to beat him up or like, motherfucker, you ain't shit. We at the table and I'm not going to eat behind him and all that kind of shit. You got to respect him and just keep it moving. Life is about you take care of your family. You stack as much money as you can. You travel. You let everybody do them. And that's it. But then that leads to other problems too, though, because like say you tell your child, you be gay when I'm dead. Like it's a lot of kids who out here killing themselves now because they can't be themselves. Right. Because of that mentality, because the parents having that mentality, they're thinking they're going to let people down. And I can't speak for other children, but if any of my children want to kill themselves, go ahead. I got a life insurance policy and I'm on a collect. So if you want to kill yourself, go the fuck ahead because it better wait till I'm gone. And that's just my children. Listen, TK is going to be at Caroline's on Broadway this weekend if you want to protest him. Like LGBT community, people who are against suicide. If you want to go protest, and you know what? Kirkland, we live in that kind of world. Yes, he will be at Caroline's on Broadway all weekend. All right, just Saturday, 7:30 and 10 p.m. Saturday, 7:30 and 10 p.m. Yeah, Saturday. Don't text Charlemagne talking about Charlemagne said this and that. Charlemagne ain't say none of this shit. He didn't say it. I don't agree with nothing TK talking about right now. All right. No, I totally understand, but you have to take that lane. But with me, my kids better wait till I'm up. No, but I genuinely feel that way though. Like I better wait till I'm dead. Like I genuinely feel like, I mean, I've just been watching society and watching how people are moving nowadays and the way kids. Do we think we're declining? No, I don't think we're declining. I think that I do agree with what you said. How we're all afraid to express ourselves. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's afraid to talk about things. Right. That's why we can't come to a understanding about what we are as a society anymore. I think that it's good to know you feel that way. Right. I think it's good to know Donald Trump feels that way. Yes, sir. Is the rhetoric toxic? Yeah, but guess what? You can stay away from it. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? At least I'd rather know it. I'd rather know what it is. Yep. I'd rather know exactly how you feel about something. So I can say to myself, well, this is what I want to deal with. This is what I don't want to deal with. You don't bring that across my path. That's it. I totally agree. I think the world would be a much better place if everybody was just overt with how they felt about things. Yes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at these. I think it's very. I would not want to be a kid growing up in this time, man. Man. I wouldn't. We were just talking about well, TK just said that he wants his kids to kill himself. You missed that part, but no, bro. Could you explain it? Because that's like one of those search they'll say, like they use with Allen Iverson. Yeah. He says, "I practice." You talking about practice? So all you hear is like TK want his kids to kill himself, and that'll be on the headline somewhere tomorrow.
Why?
No,
Just
I was
'cause they
explaining
took
to
the
him that
weed?
if we talk about gay and how these women would get beautiful, had 3 children, but then they started seeing each other, which I thought that was wrong. I felt like if you had kids already, to at least keep it a secret. Well, Charlamagne was like, no, you teach your children to be who you
themselves.
are.
Who you are.
Right. And I said to him, well.
Oh, and after I said that a lot of kids kill themselves for that exact reason, because they're not able to be free, they're not able to be themselves, they're not able to just be what they want to be to the world.
Right. And then I said, well, my kids got to kill themselves, or they better wait till I'm dead before
they kill themselves.
No, they got to wait till I'm dead before if they want to.
He said if any of his kids want to kill themselves, they can go ahead and do it because he got life insurance on him. Yes.
Oh wait, so you don't want your kids to tell you that they're gay?
No, at least that's how I feel right now. Right. I don't know how I will feel if I'm truly confronted with it.
Right.
But as of now, because I'm older than most of you guys, you know.
Sure. So
I come from a different era.
So one of the things that I've always preached on this show is like when you don't agree with something, listen.
I totally agree.
So for me, I don't necessarily agree, but I'm curious as to your rationale. So
be skeptical, but listen.
Yeah, I just want to know. Like, that. I'm not here to judge you. It's your life.
I think it's because how I was raised. You know, my mother and father, how they taught me, and I saw the cancer go through my family after people started dying. Like when my dad died, my brother started getting into crime a lot more. When my mom died, my mom didn't die just yet, but when my father died, it changed the balance in the family. You know?
So what you're talking about is interesting. There's a lot of data to back it up, which is like a nuclear family, regardless of race, is the best thing that you can have for a kid's success.
Yes.
And a lot of times people talk about black fatherlessness, but like white fatherlessness is exponentially increasing in America right now, and it's a huge problem. So I do get,
but
I'm just saying, I do understand the value of having 2 parents in the household.
You said 2 parents, though. Think about that.
And
does it matter if it's a father and father? Does it matter if it's a mother and mother?
Exactly.
It's just 2 parents.
So that's the next point, which is,
but that's in the next generation coming. I don't think it'll be an issue. In my issue, because I'm 57 years old.
Right.
So I see the world.
You 57, TK?
57.
God damn, you got the calf muscles of a 25-year-old NBA superstar.
Yeah, I'm 57.
TK calf muscles big as a motherfucker. Like, you don't miss a leg day at all.
No, I'm 57. So I see the world different. You know, I come from an era when Jim Brown was throwing bitches off balconies. I come from an era when Mike Tyson was a true killer. You understand? So they still was gay people back there. You know, we was getting little hints when Teddy Pendergrass was crashing into cars out in Philadelphia. You know, we was getting the little hints. Like, what's going on with Teddy?
Teddy was with a guy.
Yeah, Teddy was with a guy. You know, you get the little hints. You know, and
would you feel like if your son was gay, that it was a reflection on you in some way?
I think so.
And what if you knew for a fact that it wasn't, and it was something totally independent to your son? Do you think it would be easier for you to accept?
I think
knowing
so,
that you did nothing quote unquote wrong or bad. It was just that's how.
You know, it's amazing how I think in my mind when I'm driving and I'm quiet. And I used to come up with analogies that most people, men who kids turn gay, I felt that it was something in that guy and his DNA that he was a bitch somewhere.
Right.
Real quick,
I just want people to fill you in with what I just said to him. And this is important.
I heard you said if his son was gay, would you feel like it's your fault?
And real quick, and that's why it's important to have these conversations, because a lot of parents might not want to know or might be upset because they felt like they did something to let down their kid, that they didn't parent the right way. And I think once we get parents to realize that even if you were the most hard ass, you got to be straight, play football every single day, fuck bitches every single day, even if you did all that, your kid could possibly still be gay.
Absolutely.
What if your child? I'll flip it.
Once parents learn that, all of a sudden I think they might realize, oh, wow, it's not on me, and then I can be accepting of this.
It's never on you as a parent. You do your best as a parent. And then once they get older, they make their own decisions. If your child becomes a murderer, is that your fault?
That's so true.
If your child becomes a pedophile, does that mean you got a little pedophile in you as well?
Man, you make
know what I'm saying? Like
my mother used to say that. She said, I did the best I could.
That's it.
That's what my mother used to say. I did the best I could. And hearing you say that, boy, I could hear her saying that. So hearing him saying that to help me remember my mom, if that happened now, I think my thoughts would be different. Because now hearing, this is why we have to talk.
This is great. This
is why you have to talk to get things out. And I truly would, I think I would take it a different way because I know I'm doing the best I could.
You know,
so
you
whatever
did everything.
happened, because like even when I got in trouble back in the day, you know, I'm talking about in the 90s, right? Mm-hmm. My mother was embarrassed
because she thought she did something wrong.
She didn't go to church for like 6 weeks. She was embarrassed, and I explained to her, I said, "Mom, I'm grown. It's not your fault. It was my fault, and I'm a man. I can handle it." But it's exactly right.
So some people break the law. Some people suck dicks.
You can't put yourself. If you're a parent, don't put that pressure on you if you did the best you could. Because there's some parents that do everything right for their children, and their kids still go out like the Menendez brothers.
Yeah.
God damn.
I agree. I understand what you're saying. I just feel like, I don't know, it's just interesting as a black man growing up in America, having to deal with prejudice, having to deal with these preconceived notions about us, having people who try to put limitations on us, tell us how we can and can't move, what we can do. I just can't do that to another person. Like, I can't oppress another person.
See what
you know what I'm saying?
And like I said, guys, let me tell you, you guys have, I'm awoke, as they say.
You're woke, yeah.
Because did I say I'm awoke?
I'm awoke. You kept it real 57.
I'm like, what is that? Is that a gang? I was like, is that a gang?
See, I don't mind showing my age every now and then. So it's woke. It's woke. I'm stay woke, but that's I'm awoke. I really pronounced the whole sentence.
That was beautiful.
And I'm not even like, I'm not a progressive. I'm not a liberal. I'm just a human being. Like, for me, man, humanity, the ultimate act of humanity is recognizing somebody else's pain, being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like it's just certain things we say about each other or say about other communities that's just,
and this is like,
that's hurtful.
Dude, this is such a great convo because this really, you opened my eyes as to how parents might feel about this situation. My feeling before we had this conversation, and I think the only reason maybe you felt comfortable is because you didn't feel judgment from us. You really thought that we wanted to know.
Right.
Was I just thought parents maybe had a bigoted attitude towards homosexuals, which you've clearly said it on the podcast so far. It's like you don't have anything against gay people.
No.
So you
But you do, though.
But what he thought in this situation was he parented poorly. It was a more almost it was more selfish reaction.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
And I think there are other parents that might feel that way too. So once we explain to these parents this, and sometimes kids are going to be who they are, and there's shit you could do about it. But maybe they'll be more willing to accept.
But I understand what you're saying, Schultz. But the root of all of that got to be prejudice. The root of all of that got to be bigotry, because you wouldn't care.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
absolutely.
And the thing about it, guys, when you hear ourselves talk, right? There's nothing you can do, fam. We all have it. We're all born with jealousy. We're all born with rage. We're all born with prejudice.
Yeah.
The goal here.
I don't know if we're born with prejudices, though.
No, I think you are.
I think prejudices are learned.
I think it's all in us, right?
We're not born hating black people, right? But we're like born to have certain prejudices that might keep us safe.
I don't know about that, man.
Even though you hear something on the news a little bit for a second, even though you might hear somebody in conversation for a second, believe it or not, it goes to your subconscious. And my point is this.
But what he's trying to say is you would have to hear it for it to go to your subconscious.
Yes, you got to make an agreement with yourself. Word up. Somebody has to tell you the black person is bad. It's wrong to be gay. Like, somebody has to put kids. Watch kids.
I totally agree.
Kids play with each other. They don't give a shit.
They don't get. You're absolutely right. But the goal, what I'm trying to say, is discipline your emotions. See, because we all have it. We all see someone get success and have a little envy, right? But you control your feelings by saying, "Oh, I wish you well. I wish the best for you." But that first reaction for a second is like, not that you're jealous, that you're just envious just a little bit. But then you take the deep breath and you wish them well and you go work hard. And one of the examples, I'm prove something to you, right? When allegedly I stole Puffy's credit card. All right, let's use this for example. It taught me a valuable lesson. That's why I'm putting in the book, Who Raised You? Because we are all taught by our experiences in life. Puffy's situation made me understood that you can't take from another man that's working hard to get their own shit. Go get your own. And from that moment, I flipped it. and started
TK,
grinding.
you learned thou shalt not steal real late in life.
I did. I did. But it wasn't stealing, though.
You know how much stealing you got to do to steal Puffy's credit card?
Yeah, but
like, you don't start at Diddy.
No, let me explain to you what stealing is about now. In life, there's things called opportunity when you're a hustler, right?
Sure.
If you're in the street, certain things come across your desk.
Yeah.
So to speak, opportunities. You get opportunities with credit lines that you can put on your credit. You get opportunities, situation with credit cards, banks, white collar crime. Depends on what. So you make a choice on at that particular time. Wasn't that I was a crook or a thief? I was what you call opportunist,
right?
Because I didn't do anything in the situation. I was just the person involved. But the persons who was involved actually did it never got caught because I never snitched on them. I took the weight like a real G because I felt like I could beat the case, in which I did. But my point is that situation made me work harder to get, because I've always had money. It's just that I felt like I'm going to keep this money in my pocket because I can get that free.
Right.
And that's my mindset was wrong. My mindset, I had to change my mindset to work hard to get my own thing. So once I actually got fuck you money. So you can always have money, but then you can't go buy a $10,000, $15,000 watch and be broke. So you got to have fuck you money. So once I got fuck you money, me and Troy Carter used to manage Eve. He took me to Philadelphia. I bought this beautiful tic-tac-toe diamond Cartier watch for $13,000 cash. Did I really need it? Nope. But because of what I went through in that situation, I had to satisfy that urge that I had for diamonds, and I earned it. I paid for it. Never looked back since. So what I'm saying is your experiences in life, you can make choices. You could either become a better person or you could stay in that lane and go that direction. So hearing us talk about the envy and jealousy is nothing we could do about it, guys. It's always going to be to the day of that.
I agree with that. Like envy and jealousy are emotions that there's really nothing you can do about. But when you feel them arise,
exactly,
you have to check them.
Control. Yeah. That's why you have to check them. Your emotions.
But when it comes to stuff like prejudice, bigotry, hate, I totally believe those are learned behaviors.
Learned behavior.
Absolutely
totally
learned behaviors.
So
it's just like. And you do live and you learn. Like you can't be afraid to unlearn things that you've learned in your life.
Because some people don't want to change.
Yeah.
Some people will say you can't change.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you can.
There's a book I'm reading called The Righteous Mind, and it's about morality. It's like where we develop morality and how morality might be different in different places.
Yes.
And it talks a lot about that. It's like, is it innate? Do we have this thing already, or is it based on these experiences that we go through?
I think it's based on your experiences.
And it absolutely is. And they found that the people,
and it's based on what you're taught.
Right.
Well, here's the thing that's interesting. They found that the people who have the most broad and complex understanding of morality are people who have learned it through their own experiences. They found that kids who have like really overbearing parents and like maybe like an overbearing religious influence, their moral compass is based on these things that they're being told. So they're kind of frozen when you give them complex situations, right? Like, for example, is it okay to eat your dog if it just died?
Right.
Right? Somebody that has a frozen moral complex will be like, dog, you shouldn't eat dogs. Dogs are bad. But if your dog's already dead, what's different? You're not hurting the dog.
And you got the right motherfucker to fry that and saute that shit.
Exactly. You take it to Chris Burrow's people. They handle that shit and it's good, right?
Right.
So what they said is that kids who have tons of their own experience, like kids who have gone out there in the world, right? Lived, interacted, been bullied somebody else, had a fight, maybe not have a fight, but have basically grouped together all these experiences, like you're saying, have the most wide moral complex, because then they can go through that experience like, well, technically you're not hurting the dog and you're just eating. What's the difference between it being in the ground or in your belly?
Bro, life teaches you that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell me any preconceived notions about a number of different communities because I'm around people all the time. Like, I know white people, I know gay people, I know Asian people, I know Jewish people. Like, I'm around a lot of different people. I got a lot of different friends. And guess what? I don't even approach it like that.
Exactly.
I think at this point in my life, I've I've labeled people more now because we're in this label fucking era, which is whack to me. You know what I'm saying? It was a couple years ago. You wasn't even thinking about that shit, but now
sure wasn't.
You wasn't.
Like,
but
sure wasn't.
It's about any of this race shit, sexuality
You just went through
shit,
life.
gender shit. I didn't care.
Yeah, you just went through
That's
it.
it. You went through life. You meet people. You either like somebody, or you don't.
Yep. And you keep it moving.
Now it's like, it's this label, that label. And I contribute to that too. There's no lie, because I'm gonna be honest with you. I have catch anxiety around white people nowadays.
Now, why?
I do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't feel as comfortable around white people as I used to, because of this Trump shit. Because I know it's a lot of sneaky fucking Trump supporters.
Okay.
And if you're not speaking out against that shit that we're seeing going on in the White House, to me, you must agree with it. You were locking arms, motherfucker. You staying in the locker room. You ain't kneeling. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, certain people, I just naturally get anxiety. When I'm around a group of white people, I'm like,
you stay quiet.
I just don't know, bro.
You don't want to give your opinion.
No, I'm gonna give my opinion.
You give your opinion.
I just don't know where this could turn left. I'm thinking, and because I already deal with anxiety, I'm thinking about the Dylan Roofs of the world, and I'm thinking about all kind of wild shit nowadays.
And it's good to be paranoid.
Yes, but I never used to feel that way.
You have to be. It's like being in the streets, right? When you walk into a club, and you know it could pop off any minute. You go in, you always on alert. And that's the same thing.
Survival mechanism.
Yes, and I wrote about this in my book, Black Privilege, Opportunity Comes to Those Created. I wrote about it on a much smaller level, but I was just talking about how throughout the history of America, of course, white people have had, the history of being racist individuals. You know what I'm saying? So when you are a white person in a position of authority, or you're a white person at a job, and you know that y'all are the majority there, and there's 1 or 2 black people there, or 1 or 2 Asians there, or 1 or 2 Spanish people there, you should go out of your way to make them feel comfortable.
Yeah,
I really feel that way.
Or outthink them.
No. I mean, the white people should go out of their way to make them feel comfortable.
I totally agree with you.
And I said in the book,
that is so true.
And I said in the book, I said, walk up to a minority and say, you know what? I am not a white devil. But if you don't want to do that extreme, just treat people the way you want to be treated.
People nice.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that innately we can tell if somebody has our best interests at heart. I think there's some people that are really good at the finesse, but the majority of people, I don't think, are con artists. And I think that when you're around somebody and you feel their energy, you could trust if they don't fuck with you.
Right.
I really do believe some people can con you, but I think the majority of people, I'm just by their energy, by the way they talk to you. Like if a guy's coming up to you every day, like you said, and go, hey, did you see Empire last night? How'd you like? What about Power? Is that pretty good? How about Beanie Siegel? What's he up to?
I binged Insecure.
There we go. Right? So then you're like, oh, I don't know if I trust this white guy. But if a dude's just fucking with you, be like, man, what do you think about Wade over the
You can tell when somebody's genuine or not.
Boom.
Right, you can tell. And here's the crazy thing. We talk about all that. Put 12 women in the room together.
Yeah.
10 of them gonna hate everybody. Why?
You got to explain a little bit more.
Well, most women can't get along because they're in competition with each other, or they're jealous of one another, or they talk bad about one another. And this is learned behavior as well.
Right.
Because women tear each other down, and we sit around and say, why? If someone looks cuter than you, if someone got a fat ass, a real ass, then you should be thankful for that person. Or some girls will say, oh, I thought you were stuck up until you spoke.
Yeah.
When you spoke to me, I thought you were just, this is how they think. So let's use that example. This is talk about what we're talking about.
That's TK Kirkland, ladies and gentlemen. He'll be at Caroline's on Broadway, women's rights organizations. If you want to join the LGBT and suicide prevention organizations and protesting him this weekend, he will be there on Saturday at 7:30 and 10:30. Okay? Caroline's on Broadway. All right?
He is protecting himself, boy. He ain't gonna deal with this shit no more.
No, I'm not, because I do like the sharing of ideas, but some of it is just unhealthy.
Yes,
I truly believe that. Like I feel like some of the rhetoric is dangerous.
Great thing that I love is
what are you saying?
Well, I think some of the rhetoric is dangerous. I think like first of all, if you're whatever you are, you should be allowed to be that. So I don't want to hear a parent, especially as a parent, I don't want to hear a parent say, be that when I'm dead, because you're going to disappoint me.
Of course. And
you know what I mean?
Obviously, I completely agree. My feeling is we live in a society right now where we have knee-jerk reactions, right? Somebody says something we disagree with, like you said, and the immediate reaction is, how do I shame that person so that I can prove how open-minded I am? What I tend to do is I want to look at that situation and understand your feelings.
I like that.
Because then I can better maybe articulate how I feel to you. And then you might be able to come back on my side. So I learned something from that conversation we had right there by not knee-jerk reaction shaming you.
Exactly.
If I asked you that situation and your response was, well, I just hate all gay people, I think they should die,
right,
then I gotta go, dog, I don't know if that's right.
Right.
But if your reaction is, well, I feel like I might have failed my son in a way, I go, wow, I never thought about that.
But then once again, Andrew, and it all comes back to prejudice.
There is inherent prejudice there.
Because why would you feel like you failed just because your son was gay?
Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? Like, I think disappointed might be a better word. Failed
and disappointed are they're different variations of the same feeling, right?
And we're all grown, right?
Right.
At the end of the day, like I said, it comes down, I have to respect your opinion. If regardless of what you say, if I'm totally against it, I'm gonna listen to you, and then I have to say I respect how you feel.
Well, I don't have to respect your opinion. But I have to respect that you have the right to have one.
Yes.
Right? Like if a racist guy is like, I don't think black people should live in America, you don't have to respect his opinion. But as an American, you got to go, hey, freedom of speech, you could say dumb shit. My feeling is I like to know why people think a certain way.
Boom. No, you're right. But see, you're rare, but you can have freedom of speech, but people have the right to be offended as well.
Absolutely.
Right. And that's the other thing that
That's
nobody
true.
ever wants to talk about.
Nobody talks about that.
Speech ain't really free. You know what I'm saying? Speech ain't really free. Speech can cost you. All right? Don't get it fucked up. You think speech is free, Greg? You can think speech is free, but speech can actually cost you.
Oh, facts.
Because the truth to the matter is you have the right to say whatever it is you want to say.
And it can get your ass in trouble.
And people have the right to be offended. And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's going to be a line of people out in front of my show.
Oh, yes.
This weekend.
And you got to understand why they would be offended. And I think it's important for you to reflect on it and go, like now that you know that there's nothing, now that you already believe that there's nothing that you could do to make your kid homosexual or not a homosexual, make your kid tall or short, nothing you do could affect that by the way you raise them, right? They're going to be how tall they're going to be.
Yes, sir.
You know, they're going to have the size hands they're going to have,
Right.
and they're going to like dick and they're going to like pussy.
Right.
Nothing that you do or tell them throughout their life can change that.
And hopefully they're not suicidal.
And hopefully they're not suicidal.
And you don't think a parent can be is also a GPS to guide the child the right way?
Not to penis or pussy. I think that is
that's
because,
real.
And there's something
That's
that it was actually another episode, and it was something Charlamagne said. This is way back in the day. But do you remember when we went to the fucking cancer hospital, yo?
Yes.
There was a person there dying of terminal cancer.
Yes.
And he was there with his boyfriend.
He was gay. Yeah.
He was gay.
Yeah.
And in that moment, you turned to me and you said, yo, this is how I know this ain't a choice. This is how I know you're born gay. And I go, how? He goes, ain't nobody gonna fight cancer and fight homophobia.
No. I said no.
Like
no. What I said was if you're dying of cancer, which he was.
He was dying of cancer, terminal cancer.
I don't know if I don't even know if he's alive now. God bless the brother. But if you're dying of cancer, you want love. Right? Love is such a natural emotion. Like if I was in that state, I would want my daughters around me. I'd want my wife around me, my mom, people I know that genuinely love me. He was there with his boyfriend.
Yeah.
So that was just pure love.
Yeah.
You're not, your mind, like you can't make a choice. Like in that moment, your one choice would be, let me fight this cancer. Unless you're dealing with something so natural.
That's
like
who you are.
love. That's just who he was.
Who he was.
Yeah.
It's like when you're starving, right? You just need food, right? You'll do anything for that food, right? You're not making a moral decision, right? When you're starving, and nobody's starving and a vegetarian. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're starving and somebody got a steak, you're going to eat that fucking steak. You know what I mean?
Unless you're on a spiritual journey.
To
unless
die,
you fasting. Unless you like really fasting and God told you don't eat meat under any circumstance.
But you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
For the majority of people, if they're about to die and you give them some food that they're not usually down to eat, they're going to look past that.
See,
when you're dying of cancer, right? And you still just want that love in your life.
Man.
It was just an eye-opening experience.
Love.
And that's one of those things where, like, even hopefully having this conversation with you, maybe you start to look at things differently. And maybe
I think I will, because that's what conversation is about, brotherhood and men talking amongst men and putting your differences out. Because I'm always open to learn. I'm not, some people you talk to, you're never going to change their mind. Yeah. But with me, I think I'm intelligent enough to know and hear, well, you know what, damn. I'll sound like a fucking fool.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I'll sound like a fool because that don't make no damn sense.
But this is a safe space. We have these conversations. We enlighten each other.
Right.
And, There'll still be people at Caroline's protesting you this weekend, okay? All right.
That being said, let's pay some bills in this. Today's episode of Brilliant Idiots is brought to you by the HBO special Felipe Esparza Translate This. Okay? Comedian Felipe Esparza stars in his first HBO comedy special, Felipe Esparza Translate This, an uproarious hour of stand-up featuring unconventional riffs on the immigrant experience and life's everyday battles. The winner of Last Comic Stand 2010. You know, a manager that I had used to manage him. Shout out to Jordan Tilzer. Congrats, Felipe. Felipe Esparza has appeared on numerous television shows, including The Tonight Show, Lopez Tonight, The Arsenio Hall Show, The Eric Andre Show, True TV's World's Dumbest, Comedy Central's Premium Blend, and Russell Simmons Presents Stand Up at the L Ray, to name a few. And now the affable Esparza shares his stories about translating for his parents as a kid, how his father got his family to the U.S. from Mexico, and becoming a father himself while still in high school. Esparza also riffs on the challenges of identifying illegal immigrants, being a single father and dating single moms, cheating versus being cheated on, watching adult films with his wife, and more, all performing in English with Spanish peppered throughout. Watch Felipe Esparza Translate This on HBO and HBO
I heard
Latino.
That kid is good.
Saturday, September 30th at 10 p.m., just in time for Hispanic Heritage Month.
I'm watching this, and you know why I'm watching it? Because I really enjoy stand-ups from minorities nowadays.
I sure do.
Like I saw Hassan Minaj, and I thought that was amazing because there's just a lot of things that I didn't know. What's the young lady's name?
Ali Wong.
Ali Wong.
Brilliant. I was talking about this on this.
Minorities are making the best stand-ups right now. Like I was thinking because I've heard the white experience, I've heard the black experience.
Right, and it's time to hear something different.
It's time to hear something different.
What's so
what
great
I
about
think is
them?
important
The
with the
different
stand-up
languages. They can
specials?
talk English, then go Spanish.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh, I love that.
But I think what's so important, and I think it's more than just a minority experience. It's almost one-man showish when you're coming from a specific angle. And I think nowadays, stand-up used to be one of the few places that you got raw, unfiltered opinions on the world.
Yes.
Right? Chris Rock and Chappelle, they could just talk about all the issues. Now, we get that on Twitter. We get that on Instagram. We get that at night on The Daily Show. We get that on the one after The Daily Show.
Right.
We have so many people just vomiting their opinions on the world that I feel like stand-up has to become more specific. Talk about a specific time in your life, a specific experience in your life, or a specific topic, and then go deeper on this topic if you want to separate yourself from the masses. And I think that's what Hassan did, and that's definitely what Ali did.
Okay.
And I think that's what I plan to do with my next thing that I'm going to come out, and I would implore all
I'm looking forward to seeing you one day. You know,
Yeah, man,
I haven't seen you
Nobody
stand
want
up
to
in
see Andrew's
years.
shows. You better be Assalamu Andy for your stand-up special.
Bro, I
right?
got it. My next one is gonna be hot, bro. I'm telling you, my next one is gonna be hot. I think this. I'm trying to put out there right now, but I want it. So I do my tour is Mansplained, but I want to do. This is what I want to do. I'm percolating on it, but
Yes.
Mansplained, and I want to do it live from Planned Parenthood to an all female audience. So I think that could be interesting perspective. So we're gonna
Chris shaking his head like, God damn it. Like, what the fuck? Who you feeling right now in the comedy world, TK?
You know, there's a lot of people that's good. There's a kid out of Philadelphia named Skeet Carter. That's awesome. Young kid, ambitious, a businessman. And from being in the business so long, he really got what it takes to be the next. The next man in his business. Yeah, Skeet Carter.
I've never heard of this kid.
Yeah, trust me.
I gotta look him up.
Yeah, Skeet Carter. Guaranteed. He'll be on the show Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll see him.
Who else on the show with you?
I'm bringing another kid out of Atlanta named Special K.
I know
Have you heard
Special
I know
K.
Special K.
That's a bad motherfucker.
Special K.
Special K. So I'm going to give some other people a little time to show them some love to get their thing. But it's really Skeet Carter, Special K. I signed them to I got the comedy label now.
Okay.
So the comedy label that I signed them to, and I'm Dick Gregory's my first artist. He passed away before we could put it out. So now I'm going to put him out on his anniversary of his death next year because most comics don't have a catalog.
Does Dick know you as his first artist?
Yeah, he knows.
Okay.
Shut up.
Were you hanging Dick Gregory outside the window by his
Dick know
ankle?
you as first
I'm
artist?
really that bad. I'm trying to get into heaven, y'all.
You trying the hard way.
Let me tell you, I'm trying to get. I don't want nothing wrong with my paperwork when I leave here.
Listen.
I need them to you going right through.
Yo,
I don't want no holdups or nothing.
Is that why Dick Gregory died? Did you have
Look
to
at
press
this
him
shit.
on
See
some
that?
shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's all we need.
You get one last Dick stand-up and you doing man.
I said you're my artist, Dick.
Man, that's hilarious.
TK got a podcast too.
Yep. Thank you so much, Mr. Charlamagne. And I wish I'd have started a lot sooner. I didn't know I had that effect on people with the podcast, right?
But you got that effect on people with words. So
yes,
yeah.
and the reason why I wish I'd have started, because I know I would have changed Tax Stone. Because he was into me. And he liked what I was talking about. But because I was so traveling the world, getting my money, I wasn't paying attention. Because I kept telling you and telling my friends, Charlamagne and want me to do this iPod. It wasn't even the podcast to me. I was calling it an iPod. They said, what's an iPod? I said, some shit. They said, what? They said, TK podcast, not iPod. Yeah. And then when I heard his story on his show, he was a hater. And he carried that around with him. And when I traveled this country...
You think Tax was a hater?
Tax was a hater.
I don't think Tax was a hater, though. I think Tax had a very honest opinion.
He was honest, but I thought towards certain rappers.
It's been people who call me a hater just because of my opinion.
You're just honest.
And stuff. Yeah, but that's how I feel about Tax, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
See now
I can see why you would have that perception.
Right. And I just wish I could have spoke to him more to change certain things about how he felt. Because I've known you since you was a child, pretty much. Like you were 18, 19 years old?
Something like that.
Yeah, since you was a child. And to watch you grow up and your skin smooth, you dressed nice. I remember, you know what I mean? You used to wear MC Hammer pants. You know, old. It wasn't even a backpack. It was a duffel bag.
Hold on. Let's talk about that for a second. I got to leave in a minute because I got a car downstairs. But listen, you heard about what happened with Kevin and Wendy, right?
Yo, and this has a surprise to you and me.
I'm just asking you.
I heard about it.
Don't bring me in this one either, TK.
Yeah, we go back. But see, so here's the thing about Kevin.
What happened with Kevin and Wendy?
Let me say about Kevin. Talk about men who cheat, right?
Yeah.
I come from a different era about play to pen to pen. We're gonna put this out there in the street for a minute.
Yeah.
When you're a player and you married and you creep out, what Kevin did with Wendy Williams is a classic. You keep your side bitch around the corner and you keep her on the hush, on the low. And he kept her around the corner for 10 years. Because men who cheat, and you got really a true side bitch, the wife is not supposed to find out till the funeral.
The funeral of the side girl?
When you die.
When you die.
When you die. That's when baby mamas and wives.
Why she crying so hard?
Exactly. That's when you find out. You don't confess nothing on tape. You don't say a motherfucking thing. You find out at the funeral when you start seeing extra flowers and shit come in. That's when you find out.
That little big head boy look just like my dead husband. Why she wearing my necklace?
Exactly. That's how my mother found out. That's how pretty much all mothers over the last 40 years found out they husbands was cheaters.
So he had a side woman. That was living near them.
Around the corner.
That's the story. Yeah.
And she died.
Amazing story.
No, she didn't die. See how white people take shit and take it a whole nother direction? Ain't nobody said nothing. I'm killed Diggory.
Hypothetically speaking. He's literal.
Hold on. So I'm trying to.
What do you mean you're killing it?
Wendy killed a side girl. Is that what you're trying to say?
See how the story got
murdered a side chick in cold blood.
No, what we're saying is.
Got you.
Yeah, what we're saying is when a man cheats, the wife and the wife. Because the side chick knows.
Yeah.
The wife don't find out to the funeral.
And how?
If this is true,
who released this?
But listen, it's a Daily Mail UK.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Who did it? Who put it out there?
That I don't know.
It looked like the feds, bro. Like they got the pictures. You seen the pictures?
Nah.
Oh man, it's unbelievable. Like it's an expose. Like it ain't it ain't no.
So something went down for them to expose.
What's this, Chris? Yeah, it ain't no blog.
Listen to me. Somebody exposed. Somebody was mad at somebody.
They got like 30 pictures, but. If you had to, how would you clean that up? That's the alleged side right there with a big ass ring.
She got a nice ass ring.
Lord have mercy.
Her ring almost big as Wendy.
Stop saying
I got like maybe 2 carats short. But when you the side bitch, you don't get 9 carats. Bitch, you get 7 carats. And I dare you to question me. Now, when the bitch dies, we're going to take the insurance money. And I'm gonna put you as the replacement on the show. Do you know Kev?
Oh man,
I don't know Kev.
Kev a piece of work, baby. He a player, but he's sensitive. He'll get emotional about another bitch in a minute. You know, he'll have all these bitches in the world, but he'll get emotional about another bitch. Look at this shit. God bless him. God bless him, man.
Oh, TK Kirkland is so goddamn
Man.
crazy, man.
Listen, everybody, make sure you listen to my podcast, The TK Kirkland Show. I want to thank Chris, Charlamagne the God, Andrew,
man.
always showing me mad love. That's how we do it around here. And follow me on Instagram at TK_Kirkland. I didn't kill Dick Gregory. I didn't knock off Wendy Williams and Kevin Savage.
You don't hate the LGBT community.
I don't hate who?
The LGBT community.
The LGBT community. That's a rap group? That's a group?
You don't want people to kill themselves.
I don't want people to kill themselves.
Yeah.
I felt that was a great
Conversation
to have.
Yes.
Because I've been sounding ignorant for years. Saying that because I used to always say that. Matter of fact, I've been saying that since my children was kids. So I'm not going to apologize. I still want them to have that fear in their heart. But as of the day moving forward, my mindset is different.
Word. Well, TK's gonna be at Caroline's on Saturday.
Listen, I completely changed. That being said, I want you to be afraid. Don't be coming out as gay. Even though I accept it now. Don't be coming out all the way though.
Right.
Go see TK at Caroline's 7:30 to 10:30 this Saturday. I said that right?
Yeah, you said that. But tell them again, I love it.
Go see TK Kirkland at Caroline's on Broadway in New York City this Saturday, 7:30 show, 10:30 show. If you don't got your tickets, go get your tickets now.
Yes, sir.
TK, thank you for coming, man.
Thank you as always, family.
As always, if you listen to this podcast, you think we're smart, you think we're intelligent, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. If you listen to this podcast and you think we're just a couple idiots who don't know shit, you're right too. It's the Brilliant Idiots Podcast. Thank you for listening.
And thanks again to HBO for supporting this week's episode of The Brilliant Idiots, best known for having a raw and real sensibility. That's right. That's relatable to audiences everywhere. Comedian Felipe Esparza is just like The Brilliant Idiots in that way, and he's starring in his first HBO comedy special, Felipe Esparza. Translate this, an uproarious hour of stand-up comedy featuring unconventional riffs on the immigrant experience, life's everyday battles. The affable Esparza shares stories about translating this to his parents as a kid, how his father got his family to the U.S. from Mexico, and becoming a father himself while still in high school. All performed in English with Spanish peppered throughout. Watch it. Felipe Esparza, translate this on HBO and HBO Latino, Saturday, September 30th at 10 p.m.